What is this curved metal secured to a wooden handle, maybe 10 to 12 inches long and around 1/4 inch thick, and affixed to a piece of wood? Reminds me of a froe or scythe. We bought an old abandoned property, and we're finding all kinds of things. Pretty cool adventure we're on. I've always called one of those a brush axe. It is useful for different types of outdoor cutting, such as trailblazing, pruning and brush clearing. The handle they attach to is usually a fairly standard axe handle, if somebody wanted to refurbish it. What is this weird spike found in my flower bed by the road? About 10 inches in length. I was thinking of some type of probe or something. My wife mentioned she saw a utility person out front a few days ago. Maybe he left it. I searched metal utility probe, but the ones I found were much longer. What is it? This is a grounding rod for a machine used to detect buried gas lines or other pipes. One part of the machine has two clips like jumper cables do. One clip goes onto the tracer wire, then the other goes onto this rod which is put into the ground. So there is a complete circuit in the tracer wire that can be picked up by the handheld receiver. I had this exact rod when I was a locator, and yes, I left it behind a few times. What is this odd little metal thing on all my window frames? The round bit screws up and down, and the bottom bit can slide up and down. It's on all the window frames in a Victorian terrace house. It's about 8 centimeters long, and it doesn't seem to attach to anything, but it must have had some sort of purpose when the house was built. It's an antique brass rack pulley for the blind from the 1880s. I guess it's to allow easy adjustment to compensate for contraction or sagging in the blind cords, which in that era would have been made from inelastic natural fibers, susceptible to things like changes in humidity. What is this ornate cast metal piece? It is concave and measures 13.5 inches by 7 inches, weighs 3 pounds. No maker's marks can be seen, but there's a heavy patina on the back. No moving parts. There's a hole in both the top and bottom. I bought it at an estate sale years ago. The sale had a lot of early to mid-century items. What is this thing? It looks like an escutcheon for Chaffron, a head plate armor for a horse. It would have been attached to a leather piece with cushioning attached to the bridle. The space where the eyes and ears would be is in perfect alignment. What is this 4 feet tall brown wooden stand with a metal basket of around 8 kilograms? It was found in the loft of an Edwardian house in the south of England. I have searched the web using the keywords wooden stand metal basket holder, but found nothing that matches this thing. It's an ashtray holder, a fancy ashtray like they used to have in banks. Holds a pretty big bowl of sand for stubbing out cigarettes that can be pulled out to empty and clean. The idea is less smoke and smell. What is this thing? Like a jar opener of some sort, but it's not very heavy duty. The centerpiece can be removed and adjusted, probably a total of 4 inches long. It was found in an old relative's kitchen drawer. That is a vintage Presto Egg Opener from the 1950s, used to cut the top off a raw or boiled egg. Simply place the device over your boiled egg, and then press the forefinger down on the spring, close the handles, and then lift the egg top lid off. What is this thing I bought from an antique store? Carved wood with elephants and moon shapes and hooks. I saw this and I really liked it, but I have no idea what it would be used for. There are 2 hooks on the side of the moon and a hook on the moon. Also a hole where it seems to hang. The shop owner had no clue what it was for. That's a stand for an Indian gong and mallet, given the hoops at the top and what looks like a rest for the mallet at the base. In Buddha's time the gong and drum were used to gather everyone to announce the precepts, meal times, dharma talks, etc. Up until now, they have become equipment to announce the times to wake up and go to bed. What is this flat 2-pronged non-moving metal hook? Found in an old box of tools. This is about 18 inches long and metal. No writing or numbers. I got this in a garage sale. Any ideas? It's a PV, a wall puller. It provides pushing and pulling power to move sill plates on new construction walls and assures proper alignment. It is also more precise than hammering. What is this small object supposed to be on a keychain? There's a logo from a Dutch bank on it. What is it for? It is indeed a card grabber designed for the elderly and disabled. They call it Passbacker. Getting a debit card from the ATM seems simple, but not easy for everyone. Elderly people and people who suffer from arthritis, rheumatism, or other muscle or joint diseases often have difficulty making this small squeeze. What is this round hollow object? It is heavy, possibly made of pewter at best guess. There are 2 rods going across the inside, and the round section is slightly bigger than a tennis ball. The text says presented by Captain A.L. Gurney Richmond, April 1940. It's been handed down in the family, and we aren't really sure who it originally belonged to. The family is British, there is a history of military service, and also residence in India. In the first half of the 20th century, the base is solid, the hole at the front is the only one. It is ridiculously heavy for its size, like 1 to 2 pounds. What is it? It's a windproof pipe ashtray, designed to look like balls placed near a ship's binnacle, probably a replica of Richmond's actual Kelvin or navigation balls. What is this brass clip or shackle? It was found in a load of boat bits, and it's quite heavy. I think it's brass and not bronze. It would be hard to screw it down to something flat because of the clip hinge. It's also countersunk on both sides. What is it for? That's a snap shackle of some sort. This is permanently attached to a sail. The brass clip is then used to attach the sail to a stay. This was what I was using on my 1920s Maurice Griffiths gaff rig ketch. I had 2 foresails attached to the 2 forestays and a staysail attached to the mizzen stay. You only ever open the clip when the sail is lowered, and there is absolutely no tension on it. This metal equipment has a wheel in the back. The handle does spin. The thing is about 2 to 2.5 feet tall. Found on a farm. What is it? It's a corn sheller. It knocks the kernels off of the cob. The flywheel in the back is to keep it turning with extra mass. My uncle had one of these. We had so much fun putting corn in it and getting out the kernels. I thought it was the most goofy magical thing when I was a kid. What is this thing I found at a thrift store in upstate New York? 6 by 3 inches, and I think it's ceramic. Weighs about 12 ounces. The center thing is hollow like elbow macaroni. I'm guessing a picture frame stand. I'm truly clueless. It's definitely an ashtray. A school ceramics project. The top center is for fresh cigarettes, and the open ends are for ash and butts. I had one similar gifted to me by my grandmother, made by my mother in high school. I think this thing is made of iron and weighs just under 7 pounds. It has threads on the bottom like it's supposed to screw onto something. I have tried converting the text to the Russian and Greek alphabets, but I wasn't able to get anything meaningful from those attempts. I'm totally unfamiliar with Cyrillic languages, so just being able to narrow down what the text says would be immensely helpful. This was left behind by a tenant in an apartment, so there isn't any contextual information available. What is it? Please tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.